Discover how hypnosis works for changing limiting beliefs. This is important because when you change a limiting belief, you can change all of the behaviors that would fall underneath that limiting belief in whatever category you're trying to change, whether it's career or relationships or health or just your emotional life, feeling better. And when you change that limiting belief, all sorts of thoughts change with it, feelings change with it. It's sort of a shortcut to getting what you want. Hi, I'm Dan Ross, and I help people change limiting beliefs so that they can perform better in life, they can feel better, and they can get better results. And here's why this is important, because limiting beliefs are kind of like filters of how we see the world. If you put on a brown pair of sunglasses, the world will look kind of brown and dark and kind of lousy. If you replace those with a set of rose-colored sunglasses, then the world will look kind of more pink and rosy. And beliefs operate in that way. They can either shut off our capabilities, our behaviors, if we're wearing those brown glasses, or they can open up possibilities for us if we're wearing those more rose-colored glasses. Because our unconscious mind operates by filtering information out. There's so much information that comes into your mind every second, your conscious mind can't process it, because your conscious mind can only process about 7 bits of information at one time. They say between 5 and 7, depending upon the complexity of information. That's why, I could give you a 7-digit phone number and you could repeat it back to me. It could stay in your conscious mind. You could repeat it back. But if I gave you a 50-digit number, you would be very unlikely to be able to repeat it back to me because there's too many chunks of information. Okay. So we have stuff coming in through our eyes, through our ears, through our skin, through our internal senses, through our smell, our taste, and we can't focus on all of that all at the same time. So there's a part of our brain that filters out those things that aren't important. And that is driven by our beliefs and by a specific set of beliefs about what's important, like our values. So if we look at a set of specific limiting beliefs, and people can have limiting beliefs around whether they feel inherently safe or not, whether they feel inherently worthy or not, deserving, competent, unique and special, lovable. This is not just theory, this is that way we see the world. So somebody who inherently feels safe in the world, they just feel the world is a safe and friendly place, they will probably act and think differently than somebody thinks that they are inherently unsafe, or that the world is an inherently unsafe place. And that can affect all sorts of things about, like, whether you go for a new job or not. Well, what happens if it doesn't work out? Then I won't be safe. Versus like, oh, I'm always safe. So if it doesn't work out, I'll do something else, right? There can be beliefs like, do I deserve something? So if we want to get a better job, for example, well, do I deserve it? Do I really deserve to make more money? It's not that conscious thing, but it can come up as like a feeling of like, ooh, it just doesn't feel right. I don't feel good, or, something about it just bothers me, even though consciously you might want that better job. Consciously, you might know you want to be in that relationship of your dreams. Consciously, you want to be your best health. But again, if there's something in there that you don't feel worthy of it, or don't feel like you deserve it, that's going to hold you back. So that's the power of changing beliefs, because you can look at all the behaviors that you could be doing if you were going to get a new job, for example, or to get healthy, and they can all just be blocked off by that limiting belief. Because if you don't feel you deserve it, or you don't feel that you're worthy of it, then you won't take those actions. You won't go to the gym. You won't choose healthier foods. Or if we're talking about the job context, you won't be updating your information on LinkedIn and networking and reaching out and feeling good about it. Because I deserve it. Of course I'm going to reach out and apply for that job, even if it's a stretch, because I know I deserve it. I know I'm worthy of it. So with hypnosis, we find the origin of the limiting belief. It's somewhere in your unconscious mind. The most limiting beliefs that we have are unconscious. And beliefs they can have wording to them, but they are not opinions like red cars are better than blue cars, right? They are those filters of how we see the world. Because again, do you feel safe? Do you feel worthy? So that's in your unconscious mind. And so we do often something called regression, which is going back in time to the point where that belief formed, because most of our beliefs are inherited or they're formed during our childhood. And they're operating in there unconsciously. And so we go find the origin of that. We change the formation of that limiting belief. And then we grow you up so that you can imagine life without having that limiting belief. We install an empowering belief and we condition it through repetition and intensity so that you begin to really adopt that new empowering belief. So it isn't just about changing, it isn't about just eliminating limiting belief. We want to install an empowering belief that you get to choose that works for you and brings you closer to where you want to go, moves you in the right direction. So I'd like to emphasize the importance of working with limiting beliefs. When I work with anybody on any kind of problem that has been sticky for them, they've tried this, they've tried that, they've tried affirmations, they've tried therapy, they've tried all these sorts of different things, that there's often a limiting belief that is operating that is preventing them from making that change. So once we clear the limiting belief, it allows all sorts of other habits and behaviors to change along with it. So to learn more, you can check below and learn how to change your own limiting beliefs with the help of hypnosis.